what you are doing clinically to help your MS. But at the same time, while we totally, support any type of complementary therapy, we do say that you should run that by your physician, as they know you and your body better than we do. We also stand firm that, we support people being on these platform therapies, just based upon the fact that we know through FDA testing that they do work, whereas some of these complementary therapies and, various diets, various supplements, some work for some and some do not work for some. We recommend the things that we know across the board work. So that's not ever going to change from a society standpoint. We will always back these, injections. However, we definitely in the future, as with this teleconference, want to take strides to let you know about all the things that you can do to achieve whole body wellness, not just your medicine, but through your nutrition, your exercise, your daily living.
So how come no one has asked me about my holistic approach to MS? I guess that's what I'm not understanding. Nobody wants to study me, on a healthy person, not doing all those medications. I understand complementary is where we go. My doctors have agreed, we've agreed to disagree, but I'm just really in awe at the lack of education on nutrition for MS patients, because it really is the key.
It's key. It is.
It doesn't matter how much drugs you take. If you're not going to eat properly, you're still going to decline and get worse.
But that's an overall thing. That has zero to do with MS. That's for any condition possible. If you eat badly, you will feel it. MS, no MS. Heart disease, no heart disease. That's a basic. That isn't specific to this particular condition. And while I completely understand that if you've found, a treatment, so to speak, that works for you, that is absolutely, wonderful. But your doctor isn't in the type of business to ask to study you in your holistic approach. He's a clinician. He prescribes you a medicine. If you're not receiving the care that you hope to receive from your physician, neurologist, whatever his particular specialty might be, find someone who does suit your needs. You should be getting the most out of each of these visits. Especially since you're paying for it.
Oh, I don't bother anymore. I'm healthy, so no purpose to tell them I feel good.
Well, great. Well, I hope you continue to feel healthy. Thank you for listening tonight.
Thank you.
We have our next question. Comes from David.
Hey, April, how you doing?
I'm fine, David. How are you?
Great. I just want to thank you again for all that you're doing, all this helping all the MS people. I've had MS for about 20 years, and I've tried just about every diet in the world. I wanted to give some encouragement to the lady that talked about going on the gluten-free. I've been doing that for about 5 years, and I really feel pretty good on that. I don't drink any milk products anymore. I drink goat milk. I eat goat cheese, eat goat yogurt, and that seems to be a pretty good deal with this gluten-free and doing the goat milk business. And I've also been taking that grapeseed extract and some other things like that are anti-inflammatory and antioxidant type things. That one lady was talking about the ice cream. I can sympathize with her. I eat goat milk ice cream every once in a while, but they do have some pretty good cookies out there that are sugar-free and gluten-free. And if that'll satisfy your sweet tooth, she might try that too. And the lady that has the osteoporosis, she, as much as she can do with the exercise, and a lot of people that have MS can't really get too physical with things, but the weight bearing or doing any kind of weight exercise, you well know, that really helps the osteoporosis as much as anything else. But one question I did have for you was on this, taking some of the fish oil things. And there's been a lot about that recently about, some of these fish oils aren't all that pure, and you might be getting other things like mercury, which some people think, isn't all that great for people who have MS. But recently they've come up, people say that you should be taking this krill oil. Do you know anything about that?
How do you spell that?
It's Krill, and it's supposed to be have a lot more omega-3 in it than some of the other fish oils.
I don't know, but if the percentage of omega-3 is higher than some of the other fish oils, then it probably has a greater anti-inflammatory effect than those with just the plain omega-3 fatty acid supplements, because basically your fish oils and your fish oil supplements, they work in an anti-inflammatory.
Exactly.
Just like the whole gluten-free thing is, celiac disease and some of the conditions where people follow that diet, they have a lot of inflammatory markers in their body. So
yes.
So the whole overall gluten-free, it's the anti-inflammatory, trying not to have any of those inflammatory markers rear their ugly heads, in your body. But the krill oil, I can't say specifically about it, but if it's a greater percentage of omega-3 fatty acids, then
supposedly, but you might check that out. It's been around for a little while, and I'm switching over on it now instead of taking the fish oil.
Okay.
Because, like you say, you get that aftertaste every once in a while. It's not that pleasant.
Oh, I know. I agree. Well, yeah, give it a try. You can talk to your pharmacist and see if they know, if the composition is, kind of what the composition of it is.
Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your comments.
We have our next question comes from Virginia.
Beverly? April?
Yes?
I would just like to thank you for all the good information that you've given people that's been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. My question is to you, all the information that you've given really says to me that you recommend a diet that is low in saturated fat, and that we should take supplements for our diet to get the omega-3 and the vitamin B and the vitamin D and all that. Are you saying that we should take mostly supplements?
That's a good question. I always say, from a nutrition standpoint, food first, supplement second. Food is always first. That's why the calcium-rich foods that I mentioned. That's going to be that's where you want to start. You want to start with a calcium-rich diet. If you cannot tolerate it, if you have allergies, if you have aversions or different things, then you can look at a supplement to make up the difference. But it's always going to be food first. As far as the fish oils go, really, to see the greatest anti-inflammatory benefit, you would have to eat a lot of fish a week. And a lot of people, that's really not a reality. So they can do the fish, do the flaxseed, do the oils in their diet, but a lot of times it's at that supplementation level where you see the greatest anti-inflammatory impact. So I'm not really, advocating in supplements. It's just that that's sort of what the research is showing. But no, definitely. I'm a food first person for sure. That's a good question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We have our next question. Comes from Robert.
Hello, April.
Robert?
Thank you for taking my call. I'm asking about, and I feel like I'm along the same lines as everybody else is asking. I want to ask about, I try to keep my weight down, and it was recommended that I start taking some apple cider vinegar along with some honey. Is that something you're familiar with, and is that a good thing or a bad thing?